greatest trick the devil ever pulled was convincing the world he didn't exist.
You see, in this world, there's two kinds of people, my friend.
Good morning, Vietnam! I love the smell of napalm in the morning.
You're gonna need a bigger boat.
I feel the need.
Strange. All right, Mr. DeMille, I'm ready for my close-up.
Would you be shocked if I put on something more comfortable?
You know how to whistle, don't you, Steve?
Say hello to my little friend!
I'm gonna make him an offer again.
Keep your friends close, but your enemies closer.
James Bond. Hello.
If the power of Christ compels you!
It's alive! It's alive! It's alive!
Busy living, or get busy dying.
I could have been a contender.
Fasten your seatbelts. It's going to be a bumpy night.
Take your stinking paws off!
Here's Johnny!
You can't handle the truth!
There is no place like home.
Hasta la vista, baby.
Movies encompass the length and breadth of the human experience, making any best of list hopelessly subjective. Comparing, say, The Silence of the Lambs to Fantasia to determine which one is better actively insults both movies. Similarly, scholarly lists like the British Film Institute's once-a-decade model, which sets the pace on this front, tend to overlook base genres like horror and comedy, which often prove more influential. If a reader isn't already inclined to seek art house fare like The 400 Blows or The Passion of Joan of Arc, their inclusion in a given list means very little. Hello everyone, we have brought you a list of top 10 must-watch movies of all time, about which I should say such lists can differ from perspective to perspective, from person to person. Please let us know what you think in the comments. Thank you.
Might like a story.
Just mine.
Number 10. The Godfather 1972 remains the number one mobster film.
Man who doesn't spend time with his family can never be a real man.
Mobster movies always embodied the dark side of the American dream, as their violent protagonists gained and lost everything they ever wanted just by being more ruthless than the next guy. Francis Ford Coppola upended that notion by revealing the terrible cast from the inside out, placing audiences amid the Corleone crime family as it slowly devoured itself.
Wait a minute, I'm talking about a cop that's mixed up in drugs. I'm talking about
Mine. Just mine.
It's not personal. It's strictly business.
Number 9. Seven Samurai 1954 inspired a famous Star Wars character. Seven Samurai's basic plot template has been emulated more times than can readily be counted. Each tale of wandering Ronin who band together to save a peasant village can be seen in everything from The Avengers to A Bug's Life to Ocean's 11. Director Akira Kurosawa fused cowboy tropes with Japanese culture to bridge the gap between the two. The 8th movie that you should definitely watch on this list is 2001: A Space Odyssey 1968, which was unlike anything viewers had seen before. Sci-fi rarely gets more cerebral than 2001: A Space Odyssey, and yet few films in the genre embrace sheer spectacle so gloriously well. Stanley Kubrick hit key details in imagery rather than the film's sparse dialogue, letting viewers slowly unravel the mystery on their own. Even then, however, enigmas remained wrapped tightly in the extraordinary visuals, but defying easy answers. Kubrick tended to work best when embracing popular genres. The Shining accomplishes similar marvels, and in this case, he elevated the entire medium in the process. The real year 2001 has come and gone, but the movie version still has so much to say about who we are.
I'm laughing at you.
Number 7 in this list is Singin' in the Rain 1952, which is one of the greatest musicals ever made. Often dubbed the greatest movie musical ever made, Singin' in the Rain stars Hollywood legend Gene Kelly as Don Lockwood, a silent film star who is having troubles transitioning to sound movies in the 1920s. Along with his screen partner Cosmo Brown, the pair devise a plan to make their first talkie picture a hit while Lockwood falls for Kathy, a chorus girl who hopes to get into films. The film is best remembered for its iconic Singin' in the Rain dance scene, which Kelly performs to perfection.
I walk down the lane with a happy The war started.
Sir, you should have made your presence known.
Number 6 is Gone with the Wind 1939, which earned 8 Academy Awards. Gone with the Wind is set in the backdrop of the southern United States during the Civil War and the subsequent era of Reconstruction. The daughter of a plantation owner, Scarlett O'Hara, pursues Ashley Wilkes, but eventually is married to Rhett Butler. One of the first films to be released in color, Gone with the Wind dazzled audiences. It landed 13 Academy Award nominations, winning 8 including Best Picture.
I have something to tell you too. Something I hope you'll be glad to hear.
I called Mama. She was so happy she cried. She wants you to have her wedding gown.
Number 5 in this list is Some Like It Hot 1959, which changed the film industry's censorship guidelines. Some Like It Hot follows two musicians, Tony Curtis and Jack Lemmon, who witness a mob hit. Desperate to get out of town, they pose as female musicians in an all-woman band that is traveling by train to Miami. Things only get more complicated from there, as one of them falls in love with Sugar, played by Marilyn Monroe, the band's lead vocalist.
But you don't understand, Osgood. I'm a man. Well, nobody...
Number 4, The Wizard of Oz 1939, which brought L. Frank Baum's novel to life. The dirty secret to The Wizard of Oz lies in the way it became a classic. Though well regarded when released and modestly profitable during its original theatrical run, the vast majority of its audience watched it on television. CBS famously aired it every year, turning it into a must-see event for generations of families long before the VCRs.
Feel bad about it if you want to, but you didn't pull the trigger.
No, I didn't. Somebody else did.
The third movie to be watched is a masterpiece called Shashank Redemption. (1994), which became one of the most memorable movies of all time. The Shashank Redemption is based on the Stephen King novel Rita Hayworth and Shawshank Redemption, and follows the story of Andy Dufresne,
What are you Jimmy staring at? Back to...
played by Tim Robbins. Dufresne is sentenced to life in prison at the Shawshank Penitentiary for a murder he did not commit, and meets Red, played by Morgan Freeman, as he looks for redemption. The Shawshank Redemption was by far one of the best of the 1990s and is currently the highest rated film on IMDb at 9.3. Besides its superb acting and directing, the film is heralded for having one of the greatest screenplays ever written, with many memorable quotes. A surprising fact about the film is it was nominated for 7 Academy Awards and shockingly walked away with no wins.
I could make it on the outside, Andy. I've been in here most of my life.
If you strike me down, I shall become more powerful.
Number 2, Star Wars Episode 4: A New Hope forever changed cinema. The dialogue clunks, the characters are often one note. The universe made no sense to anyone not named George Lucas right up until the moment it opened. And yet, the history of cinema can legitimately be divided into two halves: before Star Wars and after Star Wars. A New Hope opened in just a tiny handful of theaters, but after a decade of downbeat, hyper-real movies. Audiences were hungry for it like nothing else. Today, Star Wars A New Hope has become one of the biggest franchises in the world, with no signs of slowing down. But more than that, it's made event filmmaking a Hollywood staple. 50 years later, competitors are still fighting to keep pace, and Star Wars has shown no signs of slowing down under Disney.
If you only knew the power of the dark side.
Get Earth, get real Earth. Get Earth, get real Earth.
Rosebud.
And finally, number 1, Citizen Kane 1949 is the greatest movie of all time. Orson Welles had unprecedented control over his feature film debut, along with a background in radio that approached storytelling much differently than the Hollywood studio system. He responded with Citizen Kane, a thinly veiled biopic of William Randolph Hearst that invented an entire language for the medium. Welles perfected, or in some cases straight up created, filmmaking methods that are standard practice today. That includes methods like deep focus, montage, nonlinear narrative, and expressionistic lighting. Early critics accused Welles of being a magpie, but he integrated so many methods and techniques so originally that it became a blueprint for every subsequent filmmaker to follow. Citizen Kane ties it all to a compelling and evergreen tragedy about a wealthy man whose reach eternally exceeds his grasp. It has endured the test of time to be considered the best movie of all time. Thank you very much for watching our video. Please do not forget to like and share our videos and subscribe to our channel. Thank you.